What did he do in Shedaloogoo? What did he say in Shedaloogoo? What would you do in Shedaloogoo? What would you say in Shedaloogoo? Broadcasting from a real shed in England.
Welcome to the third instalment of Shedaloogoo. Of course, living in a shed can be pretty difficult. The darker days, the greyer days are here, but this is designed for a bit of fun, a bit of interaction. So first of all, let's start with this.
Name this location.
And the purpose of name this location, I've made it easy this week. The picture that is now on the screen will be a location somewhere in the world, and in fact, if you've guessed what it is, then you should have guessed where it is. So if you know the name of this building, then you'll know the location. And so just leave an answer below this video. So that's named this location. Of course, I want you to keep your eyes peeled during the course of this program because, well, it's a little bit dark because I have actually got the light. There we go, there is a light. But we're going without the light. If you spot Golly anywhere during the course of this program, leave a comment below and say where you spotted Golly. He will be popping up somewhere in this program because
they seek him here, they seek him there, they seek him high, they seek him low. Where's Golly?
Last week we introduced the happiest, the friendliest house ghost you'll ever meet, and although it took Denise a few seconds to guess or ghost that tune because she was laughing so hard, in this week's Ghost That Tune, see how long it takes before you recognise this record. It's over to the happy ghost.
Meet the really happy ghost in Ghost That Tune.
Do you know what? I love the music in yeah, I love the music to the happiest ghost, and he's safely in the house just floating around playing happy tunes to himself whilst I'm stuck out here in the shed, because of course I have been living in the shed since it was built several months ago. It's actually been over 6 months since I slept in the house. The floor is my bed. Right, well, moving on.
Where are they now?
At the start of the century, oh, it seems so long ago, there was a new kind of programme called Pop Stars. I'm sure this had never been done before, but of course we've seen it evolve into the X Factor, which has been a ratings winner for ITV over the years and sold around the world. But the Pop Stars franchise began way back in 2000, and so this episode looks at whatever happened to Hearsay. Remember, the winners of the first series of Pop Stars, they formed in February 2001, and they were a phenomenon. And their debut single from Hearsay became the fastest selling debut single of all time in the UK. Pure and Simple was in everybody's CD collection, and I remember at the time there were fans' reactions were queuing up. They were, wherever Hearsay went, there were massive crowds. That they were in all the press, on TV. The show was watched by millions, and what could possibly go wrong for the band that had been voted for, I think, by the judges? If you remember, Nicky Campbell was one of the judges, and this new format really captured the nation. And so the band went on with The Way to Your Love and other such singles as Everybody, one of my favourite tracks by Hearsay. All was going swimmingly well in 2000, and of course in 2001 when they were formed, it was a brilliant year for them, selling shed loads of records up and down the country, touring long before the internet was really popular. It was all about Hearsay. And then of course it started to go pear-shaped. Kim Marsh left the band because of course she was having arguments with Noel and Mylene, and so of course the cracks started to appear in the band. So she left, and what they did was they televised her replacement, and it was just a coincidence that Johnny Shentel, who was formerly the Hearsay backing singer and the former boyfriend of boy band member and husband to Lisa Scott Lee from Steps, was chosen from 3 auditions, and the press had a field day ripping into that. And of course, as usual, when the press turn against you, forget it. They were written off really, and the only other single they had was Love Is Easy, that got to number 6, and the band split in October 2002, stating that they couldn't take any more abuse from the public. So what happened to Hearsay? They've refused to reform, saying it's not going to happen, so there's no chance of them reforming. But Mylene Class is well known in households up and down the country. She became a TV presenter. She presented CD UK, she presented Pop Star to Opera Star. She's been on The One Show, Daily Politics, and of course X Factor and Celebrity Apprentice. And she was also on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here in 2006. And Mylene changed her course of direction by becoming a very well established opera star, releasing an album there, and she's gone on to have 2 children, Ava and Hero, and with her estranged husband Graham Quinn. And according to the press stories, he walked out 6 months after they were married. Mylene is a lifelong amateur astronomer, so she's carried on successfully in the eyes of the media and is still a household name. Then we have Kim Marsh, of course, who left the band in 2000 and was it 2001 or February, whenever it was. She left the band, and Kim, of course, is more well known not for her number 14 hit that she had. She apparently sang in Norwegian to a dance track called Arctic. Her music career disappeared, but she was more known for her role in Coronation Street. She kept in the papers in 2002 by marrying Jack Ryder, who was Jamie Mitchell in EastEnders at the time, and she herself then got involved with the soaps, playing Michelle Connor on Coronation Street in 2006. So she's been behind that bar at the Rover's return, been keeping herself busy. She's also since remarried and now goes under the name Kim Lomas. But what happened to Suzanne Shaw? Oh, Suzanne. Well, bad news for her was Hearsay apparently broke up on her 21st birthday, which, according to showbizgeek.com, where this information is coming from, would have made for an awkward party. Well, just a bit like Kim, she has ended up in playing Eve Birch for a year in Emmerdale. So she also appeared in soap operas, and she over the years appeared in West End musicals and also won Dancing on Ice in 2008. She has a son called Corey, and she was with musical star Darren Day, which of course also appeared on other reality shows. But she has since married Jason King from JK and Joel fame, but they separated in 2012, so not so lucky for Suzanne. And everybody of course loved Noel Sullivan, that cheeky Welsh boy. Well, after the band split, Noel went on to work in musical theatre, and he returned to television, or reality television, with Trust Me, I'm a Holiday Rep in 2006, never heard of it, and he played leading roles in productions of Grease and We Will Rock You. He's also done occasional radio presenting work in Wales. Meanwhile, Danny Foster, in 2005, Danny took on the part in a Channel 4 reality show called The Games, which apparently he was really good at. And also on Channel 5, Trust Me, I'm a Beauty Therapist in 2006. He has kept true to music and now performs with Danny Foster and the Big Soul Corporation. So he's probably one of the only ones that's kept true to music. And whatever happened to the extra band member of Hearsay, Johnny Shental, who we mentioned earlier? Well, he's since appeared in musical theatre and a reality show called Celeb Air with his wife and stepstar Lisa Scott Lee. They have 2 children together. So that is what happened to Hearsay. Sadly for you fans way back there at the start of the millennium, you can clutch your CDs knowing that the band are not set to form anytime soon.
Fascinating fact!
Okay, it's time for today's fascinating fact, and so rather than just limit it to one today, let's get more than one. Did you know that owls are one of the only birds who can see the colour blue? Never knew that. And dogs have 4 toes on their hind feet and 5 on their front feet. I never knew those fascinating facts. How wonderful is that? Well, from dogs to Roman forts, we are now about to go out and about and visit a real Roman fort. And this is the Lunt Fort at Baginton near Coventry. And so took a little trip round the site to just see what it was like a long time ago, over 2,000 years ago, when the Romans were conquering the world. So let's go out and about. So I'm about to go out and about, and I'm about to look at a Roman Lunt Ford here in Baginton.
Over to you, over to you, over to you in Shedaloogoo. Over to you, over to you, over to you in Shedaloogoo.
Want this programme to be as interactive as possible, hence with the quizzes, games and just stupidity. And I've been amazed at the response that we've had to the 2 episodes that we've shown so far. And you've left some comments. It's thankfully people that are hooked on the programme or are just insane like me. And Simon Bromley said, I feel strangely honoured to have received a mention, and for your information, I can't get that blooming tune out of my head either. Denise Langiel, I probably pronounced that wrong, sorry Denise, she says, I love your house ghost. It took me 10 seconds to recognise the Bangles tune though, mainly because I was laughing too loudly. And congratulations on that role I created for you. Can't wait to see you in tie and tweeds. Haha, go get 'em, Tiger. So thank you for those comments on YouTube. On Facebook, Gail Dalton from Ireland once again left a comment saying, oh my god, you've got a part created for you. Well done you. This was even better than the first episode. I'm hooked on the zaniness. I saw Golly appear again. He must have been interested in the facts about babies. Answer to quiz, the Bangles Eternal Flame, and I think it was Roland Rat in his rat cave around about 37 seconds on Who Am I? Now I know I'm truly mad. Oh, and thanks for the shout out. Well done, Gail. Leon again commented saying, another great episode. Well done on getting the part created for you. That is fantastic. You'll be a star in no time. So thank you for that. Denise said also on Facebook, so much entertainment out of such a little shed. Brilliant. And on Twitter, Tiswas Online said, saw your shout out. Congrats on the acting gig. Something I always wanted to do as a youngster. Pat Lawton also said, yay, another vid, brill. And one comment I missed from last week was Michelle Stones said, when talking about what happened to the Teletubbies, she said Tinky Winky ran off with Nunu, Dipsy and Lala have run off to Spain, and Poe is still running off over the hills. Bonkers! So thank you for the comments that you've left there, and I like to give you a shout out just because it's over to you. But now we're going to enter the part of the programme where it's time for you to put your brain into gear and work out, who am I?
Who am I?
Okay, who am I gives you 1 minute on our timer to work out who the celebrity, film star, pop star may be. And this week's is a really easy one. And I've got to try and make it as difficult as I can in 60 seconds, but without giving too much away and without revealing the name. So when the timer starts, let me know how many seconds are on the clock before you recognise who am I. Okay, so I was born on the 6th of July 1958 in Sleaford, Lincolnshire, England, UK. I am just 5 foot tall, 5 foot 4 inches tall, that's 1.63 meters. I attended the Central School for Speech and Drama, where this person met their TV partner at that school, and in the 1980s they hit TV screens with great success as they all performed in a groundbreaking comedy drama TV series, The Comic Strip Presents. So after The Comic Strip Presents, she appeared in a few episodes of The Young Ones, Girls on Top, Happy Families, and they would work on their own TV show in 1987 as a comedy duo. I did make that a bit hard. Do apologise. I kind of like slowed it down at the beginning. I didn't want it to be too easy, but did you guess who am I? Who was the famous person? Let me know below the video.
Shedaloogoo lyrics.
I will just speak the words from a song. See if you can guess the song title and the name of the artist. So here we go. Back where I belong now. Was it just a dream? Feelings unfold. They'll never be sold. And the secret's safe with me. Hasta mañana. Always be mine.
SOTD. Story of the day.
Our story of the day will be a familiar tale to any parent who has teenage children who are just starting to get their independence and starting to rebel. Well, one lady, a single mum, Heidi Johnson, decided she wasn't going to take it lying down when her 13-year-old decided he was declaring independence. Things were about to get tricky, and after one particular evening she wrote on Facebook that she wasn't going to take it anymore. She said the child is going to have a rude awakening today after the words he exchanged with me last night. Not only will he find this on his door, but his mattress stripped and the toys and clothes that I bought confiscated. He will have 3 options: buy his own, rent his clothes at $3 a day, or renegotiate his terms of being a child. Mama's done playing games and being a doormat. And as you can see, the letter to her son read, "Dear Aaron, since you seem to have forgotten you're only 13 and I'm the parent and that you won't be controlled, I guess you'll need a lesson in independence. Also, as you threw in my face that you're making money now, it will be easier to buy back all the items I bought for you in the past. If you would like your lamp, light bulbs or access to the internet, you'll need to pay your share of costs. Rent, $430. Electricity, $116. Internet, $21. Food, $150. Also, you'll need to empty the trash Monday, Wednesday, Friday, as well as sweep and vacuum those days. You'll need to keep your bathroom clean weekly, prepare your own meals and clean up after yourself. If you fail to do so, I will charge you a $30 maid fee for every day that I have to do it. If you decide you'd rather be my child again instead of roommate, we can renegotiate terms. Love, Mum." Well, as you can imagine, that note on the door went down a right treat. She said he came home, saw the note, crumpled it on the floor and stormed out of the apartment. He was livid when he got home. He decided to stay just sitting in Heidi's room, where he did laugh at her and he repeated, "Really? What are you going to do? You can't take my stuff." He was asked to leave her room, and well, when he would be respectful and she was more calm, then they would discuss the matter further. So he went to his room, and after about an hour he had removed some electronic items that she had missed, and he said he felt that he should earn them back for his behaviour. He apologised and asked what he could do to start to make things better and start earning those items back. He earned his comfort and some clothes right back, and she said, "I did leave him some clothes to begin with, but just not the ones that he would want to wear every day. He also had some pillows and sheets, but not his favourite ones." And Heidi concluded by saying, "It has made a difference though. When I ask him to do something, he does it." So that's just a little lesson there for any teenagers who think they can outsmart mum. You've got no chance. That is SOTD.
Shedaloogoo.
Did you know that the largest recorded snowflake in history is reportedly 15 inches across? What a massive snowflake that was. And February 1865 is the only month in recorded history not to have a full moon. I'm David Blame Me, and I'm a botanist. Nice bomb. Today I'm inside the greenhouse, and I get blamed for a lot of things. That's because I'm David Blame Me. Maybe it's because I've been encouraging people to grow tomato plants, and as you can see here, a lovely big tomato plant is growing. Lovely tomatoes. And as you can see there, some white ones and some not so white ones. But what I've been doing is I've been picking them off one by one and throwing them at people's windows. No wonder I'm getting the blame for smashed windows and glass everywhere, because I'm David Blame Me. I'm a botanist.
Shedaloogoo joke of the day.
A woman was arrested for shoplifting. When she was to go before the judge, he asked her, well, what did you steal? She replied, a can of peaches. The judge then asked her, how many peaches were in the can? She replied, 5. The judge then said, I will give you 5 days in jail. Before the judge could even pronounce the punishment, the woman's husband spoke up and asked the judge if he could say something. The judge said, what is it? And the husband said, she also stole a can of peas. Anyway, moving swiftly on, tossing the clipboard aside, it's...
Phew, look at that view!
The part where I grab the camera. Let's go outside and see what is happening. It's grey, cloudy and miserable, and there is a pigeon on the rooftop. Can you see it? Just there on the chimney. Look at that view. Well, it's the end of episode 3 of Shedaloogoo. It's time to get this tune in your head once again. So it's goodbye from me until next time. Bye bye.
What did he do in Shedaloogoo? What did he say in Shedaloogoo? What would you do in Shedaloogoo? What would you say in Shedaloogoo?